Welcome to Creative Horizon, a 4X map where we are starting with some money. Cozy. I just want to enjoy the game and share it with you guys. This map have almost no buildings, have some paved roads, which I like. Basically a survivor-style map. Naturally, instead of grinding like a responsible human being, I invested in a high-end direct drive sim rig, just to roleplay as an unlicensed millionaire lumberjack. If you ever doubted your financial discipline, stick around to see how much it costs to commit large-scale environmental atrocities in crisp 4K across 4 times the normal land area. We're obviously going to start by buying the first plot of land, with a forest of course, since we need to start making some money. So we're going to make wood chips from these trees so we have a good field for farming. Rule number 1 of surviving in the middle of nowhere. Blow through your entire starting capital within the first 5 minutes on the heaviest piece of machinery available. Look at this majestic specimen, pretending to understand hydrostatic transmissions and PTO horsepower ratings, when all I care about is whether the tires look aggressive enough to crush a small hatchback. We're not building a humble homestead here. We're starting a corporate takeover with negative bank account energy.
A quiet little sound without a single care. Mirrored walls reflect the light, so soft and so discreet.
Finally bought the 458 horsepower John Deere 8R. Fingers crossed it has enough juice to tackle some innocent trees without having an existential crisis. And right next to it, our partner in crime, the lizard devour trees. Now that our bank account is officially on life support, it's time to take our brand new heavy horsepower beast for its maiden voyage. But obviously, a straightforward trip to the woods would be far too logical. We need to take a quick detour to assemble what can only be described as a mechanical road train. First order of business, backing up to hitch the lizard. Look at this precision alignment. Years of sim racing experience and thousands of dollars in high-end hardware, all culminating in the majestic art of trying not to jackknife a hitch in front of the entire dealership parking lot. Nailed it on the first attempt. Definitely don't look at the tire marks on the grass. Now for the real wild card purchase of the day, the Amity Technology Crop Chaser 1000. Why do we need a massive multi-axle tracked auger wagon designed for industrial crop chasing when we're literally heading out to chop down trees? Because overkill is an absolute human right on a 4X survival map. Just look at the sheer scale of this thing. It's got tracks and it holds more volume than my patience on a Monday morning. Is it completely impractical for narrow forestry paths? Absolutely. Did that stop me from hitting purchase? Not for a single second. And just like that, the unholy union is complete. Tractor, lizard implement, and a massive tracked auger wagon trailing behind like a freight train with zero steering discipline. I have essentially created a 100-foot-long obstacle for everyone on this map. Look at the suspension fighting for its life as we hit the road. Navigating this absurd convoy toward the forest requires absolute focus and a complete disregard for lane boundaries. If any NPC car tries to pass us on this turn, they are about to experience the full, crushing power of American agricultural engineering. Next stop, turning a virgin forest into cold, hard cash. So turning an entire forest into microscopic wooden confetti seemed like a stroke of financial genius at first. That is, until I realized I was standing next to a literal mountain of wood chips with absolutely no sensible way to move it. Naturally, a normal farmer would buy a modest trailer and do a few trips. But as we've established, moderation is an insult to this playthrough. Enter the Cromp SKS 30/1050.
Going up or down, floating through the air. A quiet little sound without a single.
After clearing out half the forestry district, I convinced myself that no humble survivor can survive without a 500 horsepower Scania. Because nothing screams off-grid self-reliance quite like an electric blue semi burning premium diesel down a narrow dirt trail. Just look at the dimensions of this absolute cathedral on wheels. This isn't just a semi-trailer, it's a mobile zip code. The suspension alone costs more than my original survival budget, and it has enough cubic capacity to swallow an entire district's worth of sawdust. Hitching this beast to our electric blue Scania is peak agricultural luxury. It looks less like a farming rig and more like an industrial cleanup crew sent to hide a major ecological disaster. Now that we have our metallic blue Scania hitched to a massive Crampa trailer, it's time to send this empty convoy to the logging site. But why drive it myself when we have cutting-edge technology? I fired up AutoDrive, picked the route, hit start, and thought, this is peak farm automation. I am a managerial mastermind. Famous last words. I walked away to let the complex algorithms do their magic. 10 minutes passed. No sound of a roaring 500 horsepower engine arriving at the forest. No updates, just eerie silence. When an automated driver takes this long to travel 2 miles with an empty trailer, it usually means one of two things. He fell off the edge of the map, or he's currently committing traffic crimes. And would you look at this absolute masterpiece of pathfinding? He didn't even make it past the very first intersection outside the dealership. 200 yards from where I bought the truck, an AutoDrive has already T-boned a helpless NPC hatchback into another dimension. The entire intersection is paralyzed. There's a 5-car traffic jam forming behind him. The Scania is mounted on the curb, and the AI is just sitting there, calmly revving the engine against the poor driver's door like it's trying to erase him from existence. Zero cargo moved, $500,000 of equipment stuck on a sidewalk, and AutoDrive is still billing me by the minute for this disaster. Pure perfection. Right, after manually rescuing our blue Scania from the crime scene and bringing it to the woods myself, we have a revised master plan. I'm taking command of the heavy machinery right here in the trenches, felling trees, feeding the chipper, and ensuring maximum forestry destruction. Meanwhile, I've given our digital driver one final chance at redemption, strictly running the shuttle service back and forth between this mountain of sawdust and the silo. I do the actual hard labor, the AI handles the logistics, and we pray to the simulator gods that nobody gets T-boned along the way. Cue the montage music. Time to see if this operation actually makes a profit or just turns into an expensive disaster at 8 times speed. And we are officially cutting the operation short. Why? Because after barely denting this corner of the woods, we somehow generated over 6 million liters of wood chips. Now, I could keep selling this until our bank account breaks the game's economy and we buy the entire map by episode 2. But let's pretend I have moral standards and a shred of business ethics. If we become multi-millionaires on day 1, the IRS will start asking questions, and more importantly, watching an old man retire in absolute luxury with zero struggle is boring. So, for the sake of economic realism, and definitely not because I'm terrified of breaking the local market, we are halting the timber apocalypse right here. Time to pack up our mechanical circus and relocate to our official headquarters. I already had the main grain and storage silo placed down earlier, marking the sacred ground of our future agricultural empire. Watching this convoy move across CreativeHorizon is like watching an industrial invasion. We've got massive horsepower in the front, trailing implements that take up 3 lanes, and our blue Scania bringing up the rear, thankfully driving in a straight line for once. If the local wildlife thought the forest was noisy, wait until they see the sheer scale of the farmyard we're about to build. And here we are, home sweet home. It might just look like an empty field with a giant silo right now, but from this dirt, greatness, or financial bankruptcy, will rise. The machines are parked, the woodchip gold mine is stored away, and the foundation is set. Next step, figuring out what real farming actually looks like before we run out of diesel. Look at this scenery. Acres of untouched nature, fresh mountain air, and a sky so clear it almost makes you feel bad for disturbing the peace with a twin-turbo diesel engine. Almost. Navigating these narrow dirt roads on a 4X map with a direct drive wheel is basically an upper body workout. One wrong twitch of the wrist and our entire fleet ends up upside down in a creek. Standing here looking at this empty plot, the possibilities are endless. We need sheds, a workshop, proper lighting, and probably an oversized fuel tank given our current consumption rate. It's quiet right now, but give it a couple of episodes, and this place will be an industrial madhouse. Now, with an agricultural empire in the making and millions of dollars worth of heavy machinery parked in the yard, you'd expect the boss to sleep in a luxury farmhouse. Think again. We are cutting costs where it hurts. Behold, the 5-star survival accommodation. A portable camping tent placed directly on the cold dirt right next to our forest. Nothing says billionaire in disguise quite like sleeping in a nylon bag while your electric blue Scania sits outside looking pretty. Now, why are we holding on to 6 million liters of wood chips instead of cashing out right now? Because I might drive like a menace, but I understand the stock market. Right now, prices are mediocre. But tomorrow morning is officially January, and in January, wood chip prices skyrocket to the absolute moon. We aren't just selling sawdust, we are about to corner the entire heating market of CreativeHorizon. All we need to do is crawl into our tent, fast forward through the freezing night, and wake up as the undisputed wood chip kings of the map. Good morning, CreativeHorizon. I went to sleep in a dusty, barren field and woke up inside a frozen snow globe. The entire ground is covered in a thick blanket of winter white. Sleeping in a flimsy camping tent during a sub-zero blizzard was definitely a top-tier survival decision. My spine feels like an icicle. My dignity is at an all-time low. But the calendar doesn't lie. It is officially January. I immediately sprinted toward the only heated sanctuary on this entire plot, the metallic blue Scania. Firing up 500 Swedish horses just to get the cabin heater running is peak luxury. Sitting up high in the air-conditioned, heated seats while looking down at our humble little frozen tent really puts financial priorities into perspective. Now, let's see if our overnight freezing was worth every penny. Pulling up the commodity market, scrolling past the worthless grain, and boom, look at that glorious upward curve on wood chips. The price is sitting right up in the stratosphere, exactly as predicted. The entire map is freezing, demand is through the roof, and we are sitting on millions of liters of premium heating fuel. Time to hitch the giant Krampa trailer, test our winter tire grip, and start making it rain cash.
Stop me. watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival, watch 'em run away. I got no, 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 I got no, no, no rival. Tell me now, what you gon' do? We can do this face to face. The reckoning is coming real soon. Doesn't matter what you say. Try to tell you this is my moment. Can't take mine 'cause I own it. Don't you know that I'm locked and unloaded? You're out of focus. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way.
And that wraps up another day of questionable survival decisions and high horsepower chaos on Creative Horizon. If you enjoyed watching an old man wage war against nature, traffic laws, and his own bank account, smash that like button. Make sure to hit subscribe right here on the screen so you don't miss the next disaster, and drop a comment below telling me how you would fix my mess. Until next time, keep the engines running and watch out for the AI traffic. Cheers!